Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Altcoin Buzz Trading and your very weak bull market, if you can call it a bull market right now. Crypto market's pretty weak at the moment. There's really not a lot of bullishness that I can see around, and it's really something to take note of at the moment. We should be getting some major support coming off of this trend line. We found a bottom here, so we moved this trend line to this anchor point after it was formed. This one came down to it. But off of that trend line, you should have had a bigger up thrust, similar to what we had here, but we were only able to put together that. So the best case scenario right now is that we get more bullishness in the market and we continue moving up, kind of a multiple candle move like we did here. The problem is that so far we have kind of a stalling situation, and now we're flagging out, which we can overcome that. We just need to overcome that. So I don't think you start, you know, projecting that that's going to happen. You have to wait and see if it does happen. And even though this upthrust did happen, the follow through on it really wasn't very advantageous. It didn't do much, and so I don't think we can expect that much, especially after we undercut the base. And now we're comfortably living underneath it. Keep in mind the thrust yesterday retested this supportive trend line if we extend this one out. So that's a negative. Okay, so nothing really good going on here. Next up is Solana, and I do have a special Ethereum potential trade for you here. Next up is Solana. Solana right now is chopping it up. We were able to stave off the lows, but we weren't able to really to push up very high. Singular wick here, kind of a singular wick there, singular wick right there. You can see we're just not comfortable going up in that area quite yet. Chopping since then. So not much going on with Solana. We are up, but for how long? We really need to try to extend up and past this trend line at some point. So far, we're more comfortable living kind of underneath this than above, at the lower part of this pattern than the upper part of this pattern. And that needs to change. So far, it hasn't. We'll wait for the day when that does, if it comes. All right, on to our top coins and our Ethereum trade. FET, these are our top two leading coins in the top 50. FET with not a bad pattern here. Kind of an inverted head and shoulders look, although the volume signature is all wrong, so it's not that pattern, but it does look okay. You could argue that this is a double bottom base and is buyable right now, but in this market environment, in the condition most things look, I really wouldn't be putting too much capital to work. And if you want to play this, play it small, but I'm not so sure it's going to move greatly. It's just, I don't know, the market situation right now not looking good. And with the Ethereum trading a little bit, you will see a little bit better, I hope. OP, Optimism, I believe it's called, yeah. OM is Mantra. OP? No, it's OM. FET, Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. That was FET. OP is Optimism. Optimism here. Nothing super optimistic going on here, but we are trying to stave off of lows. This does have a better look to it than a lot of other tokens. Kind of rounding out a small cup base forming right here, but it's nothing too dramatically good. The up thrust for, prior to the base itself here really wasn't that good. So there's your up thrust, there's your base. It didn't really go up very high, so I don't think you have to read too much into it, but it's looking pretty good. If it does start to get above this high here from a few weeks ago, then that could be something as long as the market is stable, which right now it's looking weaker by the day. Speaking of which, Ethereum. I think Ethereum is coming on to a potentially good trade. You've got what's called the inverted cup and handle here, and I'll go ahead and invert the scale so it looks kind of normal. I'll even go naked chart. So here's your up thrust, here's your cup, here's your handle. And this is a very good example of a cup and handle. And that implies that we're going to go up on this chart, which if you remember a second ago, I inverted it, which means it's actually going to go lower. And that's what this chart implies to me. You have good selling pressure here. You have a consolidation. You have a retest of the high, which we didn't quite get there, and then a low volume pullback, which in this case is upward movement. So we need to get past these trend lines, and then you're looking at what looks to be a pretty good short. If you look at the lower term time frame here, here's the trend line. Your stop could be above the high of this whole move, which right now is yesterday's high. So that gives you about a 2% stop loss right now. If you wait for the breakdown, it'll still be about 2%. So wait for the breakdown, stop loss right there. I don't have a target for you. These do not imply targets, at least nothing that I'm aware of. I know some people do measured moves. It's not something I do, but I'll do it just because for the brevity of, I don't know why I did that. For the brevity of the video there, Looks like I've already done that before, bringing us down to maybe the 1394. So if you take an early signal on this one, you have if you're, I guess, lucky, potential 40% trade on your hand right there. But that is what is implied in the charts here on Ethereum. And I think that's really the big news of the day is the Ethereum potential trade. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. Not really good news if you're a bull. If you're don't mind trading and shorting the Ethereum trade, I think is really the best thing in the market right now. All right, everyone, have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow on Altcoin Buzz Trading.